Y'all know my name is Lalicia, and this is Lalicia Say My Name Bitch podcast. But it's Talking Tuesday. The subject is going to be accountability, which kind of ties into last week's subject at hand about blaming parents. What do you blame them for? Whether it be your success or whether it be whether it be your success or whether it be for your failure. So, with that being said, I think we all need to take some accountability for ourselves. Now, my eyes can get the rolling because I gotta double check and see what it is over here. I ain't, but seriously. So, of course, accountability is the subject at hand. And do you hold people around you accountable or turn a blind eye? So, do you really, say, hey, you were supposed to do this and you should have done this, or do you like? I ain't gonna say nothing to them, you know. And if you do hold those people accountable, how do you do that? Like, how do you do a reality check for yourself? That's what I said. How do you do a reality check for yourself if you want to hold yourself accountable? So, getting straight to it, I don't know. I think I heard that from somebody else, and it's kind of wrong. Got on me, anyways. But accountability. I will say I just got into the habit of holding people accountable. Now everybody know how I've been on my sober wave or whatever, but I got some of this here that I'm ready to drink. But with that being said, I just recently started holding people accountable. It's been so many times where I'll be around people and they'll do something and I don't say anything. For an example, I'm gonna be very blunt and direct about this. I have a neighbor that I wasn't holding her accountable for something she was pissing me off with, and I think the bad part about that is when you don't hold people accountable, a lot of times that leads up to build up, and I've done that a lot where I let things build up, and when I let things build up, my reaction sometimes can be very harsh or mean or overwhelming when I do finally say something. So that's not fair to no one. So with that being said, no, I don't usually hold people around me accountable, but just recently I just speak my mind. I just say what I gotta say. Like, hey, look, you doing X, Y, and Z. That ain't cool. But for an example, like even friends with people I think who are my friends or family members who I think I'm cool with, they'll do something and I'm just like, I know it's not right. Like a lot of people say, oh, family talk about you, family talk about you. I get that people are gonna talk about you. People are gonna, have an opinion of you. But it's just when you are say fits Susie and Bobby are brother and sister, but Susie and Bobby got an uncle named Jimmy, and Uncle Jimmy talks to Susie about Bobby, but at the same time, Bobby don't don't know about Uncle Jimmy and Susie's conversation. I mean, that shit ain't right. It's not right at all. And then with that being said, I feel like we all need to take accountability and be like, yeah, well, Bobby, I feel like you've been doing X, Y, and Z. I don't like that. But at the same time, I have discussed with Uncle Jimmy about this as well. And that's kind of like a personal experience I had. Now I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know if Uncle Jimmy was really talking about me or not, but at the same time, Uncle Jimmy then came to me talking about motherfucking Bobby. So why wouldn't I believe that that's what happened? Even though I don't fool with Bobby, Bobby might get on my. That's crazy. I really do got a brother. But anyway, it doesn't relate to my brother at all. But that is like his fake nickname. But it's not even about my brother at all. Not at all. But there's a situation where this person that I don't really deal with like that I know like the star stuff come to me and like, yeah, well, so and so been talking about you. We all family. I'm just like, well, if we can't sit in there and all pull my card together, then don't pull my card at all. And I'm definitely like 10 toes behind that because if I feel like somebody do a certain thing, and I'm gonna be honest, I just got like this. I'm gonna be like, well, hey, I feel like you do that wrong, or you do move a little funny, or whatever the case may be. But I don't know. I feel like Family should make that a norm, being able to express themselves without feeling like, oh, we gotta argue, or we gotta be into this big disagreement after the case or after the fact. Like, you don't like the way I tie my shoes, so I'm gonna talk about you when you leave. No, say you don't like the way I tie my shoes right here, right now. So when when so and so come to me and say, yeah, so and so said, I already know that. I already know. So, whew, tastes just as bad as I remember. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, you gotta hold people accountable, man, because they don't do anything but build up on you or whatever. And whatever it is, if you shouldn't be saying it, if you can't say it to that person, you shouldn't say it to nobody at all. If you can't go to the person and be like, oh, well, how should I approach this, then you shouldn't say it at all, because it's at the end of the day, that's just bad karma that comes back on you. That's just bad juju you putting on your own self by talking about the next person. In my opinion, I know everybody got their own beliefs, but that's just my opinion. um Also, besides that, I mean, it's not, I'm not gonna say it's a to each his own thing. It's just a right and wrong thing to me. It really is. Like, yeah, you gotta hold people accountable, but at the same time, don't be on no backdoor mess with it. You know what I mean? Like, say for instance, my sister, neglected her kids and left with our mama or something like that. You gotta tell her, like, babe, you need to take care of your kids. You know what I mean? But when I want to hold myself accountable, because kind of going into the second part of this question, it says, you know how do you do a reality check for yourself, hold yourself accountable? I'm gonna be honest, I can't necessarily say what, how, when I do it, but I know I do it. And the alcohol is a prime example. I know there was a time when I felt like I was getting drunk. I wake up like, oh my gosh, what happened? Oh my gosh, what happened? I get tired of waking up like, oh my gosh, what happened the night before? I get tired of that. And at the end of the day, I had children all my life. So that is the most irresponsible, this unhealthy thing you can do. And that makes me real kind of sad, in a sense, because of my children. But I had to smack myself in reality, and hold myself accountable. Like, hey, Lalicia, you're doing this wrong. You can't do that. It's not fair to them that you want to drink party hardy and whew, it's not fair to them. You want to drink party hardy and not be able to tend to them the next day, or be able to get up, make breakfast when you need it. Instead, I'm just telling them, "Oh, y'all go make some cereal or something like that." Like, and the way I hold myself accountable is a reality check. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it take a mental breakdown for me, which not anymore so much. But the way I will do that is just kind of stop and isolate myself. I isolate. That's the plain, blunt, straight to the point answer. I isolate myself when I feel like I need a reality check. I need to be like, all right, well, you doing something wrong. I would stop. I won't answer my phone. I would take my Facebook down if need be, and just get me balanced, get me back on track. Which kind of goes to one subject I had a while ago. Like, I was asking someone because they were saying, well, how do you? Because I was saying, how do you continue to keep going without detaching yourself from the world? Because I feel like I need to detach myself from the world in order to get back on track. And their response was, I guess they already detached. So there's so much detachment they can do because they already detached, if that makes sense. So with that being said, yeah, I just the way I smack myself into reality is, I just let me stop, let me pause, let me think for a minute, get off of whatever it is that I'm on, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, but it's been hard because lately I've had to do that, and I told myself I need to go back into my little wave of not being on social media, especially if it's nothing productive. And I've been cheating because I've been saying, "Oh, I'm gonna scroll past the other videos and only pay attention to the productive videos," which is BS. That's BS to myself because I'm gonna scroll past and some gonna catch my eye and I'm gonna still do it, or look at it or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I really been trying to do that for real, for real. It's just like get back on track, and it's not to say that I'm real bad off. It's more so to say that I want to be in a better position than what I am in now, and things are getting kind of hectic for me. Even if it's just so much as like financially, things are getting hectic. And I don't want to really overwhelm myself too much or too bad. So yeah, I've definitely cut myself short with a whole lot of things. I think that's the wrong nail that's over here. But yeah, so I think it's hard to hold people accountable when they're your friends and you feel like you want to, keep your friend happy and you don't want to ruffle their feathers. And I actually was looking at this TikTok where this guy was saying, if you got a friend, be their friend. Don't try to make your friend be something that you want them to be or force them. Which I think that probably was my dilemma, my problem. Like I feel like if I got a friend, bitch, I'm doing good. You gonna do good too. But the guy made a good point. You can't make somebody be something that they don't want to be or that they're not. So I guess that kind of relates to what I'm saying now. You really can't make somebody hold themselves accountable or whatever the case may be. Or I think the guy's example was you should go to the gym every week. You should homeschool your children. You should not drink. You should not smoke. I pulled the whole nail. The whole nail came off. You should not drink. You should not smoke, and was basically saying that for you to try to make somebody do all this stuff is absurd. It's just it's not being it's not good for you. And I get it. I definitely get it now because I have all these people around me that I want them to be the best that they could be. And I tell them, like, hey, I'm doing this, hey, I'm doing that. But at the same time, it's like, I'm going to be honest. I don't tell people, hey, I'm doing this, hey, I'm doing that so they can follow along and do it. I just tell them, I'm doing this, I'm doing that because this is what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. I'm a vegetarian because that's what makes me happy. That makes me whole. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right. I take off of drinking because that's what makes me feel balanced. That makes me feel like I'm doing something right. But either way, with that being said, you know, back to that guy's point, you trying to get this person to be something they're not, or what he was saying you only 1% of, or whatever the case may be. But I think speaking on that now, which is crazy because I'm like, oh, we gotta hold people accountable. We gotta hold people accountable. I think I'm done with that. I'm done with trying to tell people when they're wrong because I feel like as an adults, they know what they're doing wrong. That's another reason I'm kind of like on this wave where I'm at now, where if somebody does something, I don't say anything. I just remove myself. And with that being said, like the situation with my neighbor where it was like her children were like messing up my stuff or messing ruining my plants, and it's just like you have to know that they're coming over here fucking my shit. You have to know this. So instead of saying something to her every time, it was like, well, hey, look, I just need you to pay for this, and leave it as that. But at the end of the day, it did get bad to the point where I said something to her. Of course I did. But at the end of the day, it's like it kind of got me nowhere. It definitely got me nowhere because she still didn't pay for it. But at the end of the day, the only thing I will say I got from it is because I'm not holding it in. She knows I don't like her now because you can't control your company or your children. So with that being said, I mean, you can hold people accountable to a certain degree or to a certain point without, it's really stressing you or bothering you or ruining you as far as your peace and your sanity. So with that being said, I feel like we too old, this world too crazy to even really be trying to tell somebody what to do or how to do something. It's just like this lady was telling me about her baby father wasn't right. Talking about, yeah, my baby daddy be in and out of jail, da 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 da, and I'm just like, yeah, well, he knows what he doing. He knows what he gotta do, but to hold him accountable, you can just put him on child support or whatever the case may be. But besides that, what do you do? He grown. He know what he doing. He know what he did. He know he didn't knock you up. But what can you do? If I have a homeboy that's not taking care of their child, I'm not gonna. And that's why I said I guess I gotta stop with the whole accountability thing. I'm not gonna say anything anymore. They know what they're doing right from wrong. I just gotta cut them off. I'm heavy on cutting people off now. Like heavy on it. I'm gonna say my piece and we done. We're done. I don't know if it's a 30-year-old thing or what, or a 31-year-old thing or what, because I'm done with so many people. Like, I had a homegirl. She did some old backdoor mess that didn't make sense to me at all. And I'm just like, look, I don't like what you did. I sat up there and gave her the opportunity to speak on what she did or to make it make sense to me what she did. She didn't. You're grown. That sound funny money. But that being said, you stay over there. I said my piece, and and I guess that is in a sense holding her accountable, but it's more so keeping my peace too in the same sense. So with that being said, cheers to her. The liquor kicking me. Let me stop. No, I only had two little sisters, but I haven't drunk in a while. But I'm very proud of myself. I keep on saying, I probably say that every video. I'm very proud of myself because the alcoholism was bad. It was bad. Oh my goodness. And yes, this is a Knob Creek bottle. I mean cup, because that's how bad I used to drink. Whew. Drinking very very heavily. But yeah, man, I'm not um I'm not playing with nobody. For why? Why would I? We all grown. We know what we're doing. What's the point? What's the point of telling somebody something they already know? Like this whole situation with my plants and stuff. Like, hold you accountable when you kind of already you're old enough to understand what the fuck going on. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. That shit is crazy. That's why I said I'm not giving out no second chances. I'm not letting nobody spin the bin with me. Like, granted, I'm going through a really hard time with that with Cliff, that the one that's in jail, because for one, I feel like our relationship started off wrong anyway. Like, we shouldn't have took our relationship as far as we took it. But then too, we didn't did some things to the point of no return. So I hold him accountable for the stuff he did, but at the same time, I'm just trying to stand on what I say. I'm standing on what I say. Not feeling sorry for people. Like I said, holding them accountable. However, keeping my space because I want my peace. I really want my peace. Like, I ain't had no peace all in my life. Every video I get there, I complain in a sense, some way, some shape, some form, somehow. I kind of complain, but I try not to be negative with it, because it's like, dude, what's the point? Complaining gets us nowhere. You know, it's all about results and making a change and doing something to make it happen. You know what I mean? So that's more so where I'm at. That's more where I'm at with it in life. But either way, that's my opinion. You can try to hold people accountable, but we really shouldn't, based off with this video I just seen the other day. Um, Other than that, I do reality checks and hold myself accountable, and by that, I stay to myself, isolate, and that isolate, like, oh, I'm depressed isolation, but I isolate, stay to myself, talk to myself, get my social media right. That way, I'm not all in everybody else's face when I'm trying to get me right. With that being said, this is Lalicia's Say My Name, Bitch podcast, where what we say ain't for play, and no matter your position in life, baby, we all gonna elevate. Ashe.